Okay, so in 1.3, we're still solving equations. It's just that we're kind of upping what we're working off of. All right. So one of the things that we're going to end up focusing on here are some of our different styles. And specifically, when you've got information on both sides. And the whole idea is just get everything to one side as in numbers and then get all the letters to the other side. It doesn't make a difference as long as you keep them separated. All right. So let's take a look at problem number 3 here. Here we've got some distributive property that is going on. And with your distributive property, it's nice because we're just taking half of it. So half of 2y, that's just a y. Half of 8, that's just a 4. I'm going to bring down my subtraction sign. And then what we're after here is getting everything to one side. So I'm a fan of keeping the letters positive. It's just kind of what I've done, but it doesn't make a difference. So I'm going to add my 3y over, and then that way I can see, oh, I got a positive 4y. Remember, that is a 1y that we have there. And then that allows me now to get my numbers to the other side. So I'm going to add my 4 to both sides, and negative 12 plus 4 is going to give me that negative 8. Divide both sides by 4 and say hello to a negative 2. So again, you can combine like I did. You can rewrite. The main thing is letters to one side and then numbers to the other. Other things that we want to be looking for, and then we see it in problem number 5. Now this is where recognition is going to kind of come into play here. And what we want to see here is I got a fraction that's set equal to a fraction. And so when I see that, that tells me, hey, cross products here. So we're going to take this 3 and we're going to multiply it by that 3 plus r. So this is what we're kind of dealing with here. It is the distributive property in disguise. And then on the other side, we're taking this 4 and we're multiplying it. Now, more than likely, you're going to do your multiplication right away. I'm just choosing so you can see what's going on. So 3 times 3, 9. 3 times r, 3r. All right. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times negative 2r, negative 8r. And now we're just back in business like we were before. Letters to one side, numbers to the other. So I'm going to add my 8r over, because again, I like to keep it positive, 11r, which means that I'm going to subtract my 9, and 16 minus 9 is 7. Okay, now remember, follow your rules, and you get the r by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by the 11. Now, I got to be careful when I look at this because a lot of times we always just assume it's a smaller number on the bottom, but no, we're dividing by the 11. I can't divide it. R equals 7/11. So we do get our fraction that's here. Let's take a look at problem number 7. There's kind of different approaches to this particular one. And again, it's what do you end up seeing? The one thing you could do is you could end up making it into a fraction, and then again, do my cross products. The issue though is, man, that negative sign is out there. And that's got me kind of bothered a little bit. So I'm going to use the clearing the fractions technique. And what I'm going to end up doing here is multiplying both sides by a negative 9. All right, so let's talk why. Well, 9 because, hey, that's who's going to clear the fraction. That's my denominator that's there. And then by multiplying by the negative, negative times the negative makes the positive. If you want, and you want to put the negative 9 over 1, and then you can end up seeing goodbye with your 9s, and then a negative times a negative is a positive, you're just left with d minus 3. That's the benefit of clearing your fractions. Now, I do have to multiply the other side by the 2, by the negative 9. So, that's going to give me a negative 18. Yep, let's just add that 3 on over. So d equals negative 15. Now, if we're a little unsure about this as we're looking at it, let's just plug it back in and substitute real quick. Plug in the negative 15 up there for the d. So negative sign out there. And I've got a negative 15 minus 3 all over a 9. Well, negative 15 minus 3 is negative 18. Negative 18 divided by 9 is negative 2. But look who's out there still. Yeah, that negative was still out there. So negative 2, but wait, there's a negative sign out there, double negative. It's a positive 2. And what did I want? Oh, I wanted the positive 2. So substitution back in, just when you're a little bit unsure of what you are dealing with. All right. Yeah, that's all that we're looking at here for today. So with that being said, we'll see you later.